Hey guys, welcome back to Coaster Brothers. In today's video, we are doing a review of Ghost Rider, a crazy GCI wooden coaster at Knott's Berry Farm. This is definitely one of my favorite wooden roller coasters. It is currently my favorite GCI. This is just crazy, guys. It is the best coaster at Knott's Berry Farm, and then definitely one of the best coasters, wood-wise. So, let's get into the first category, which is height. Ghost Rider stands at 118 feet, making it the tallest wooden roller coaster on the West Coast, which is a pretty cool record. Now, Ghost Rider, 118 feet is pretty tall for a wooden roller coaster. I know there's lots of taller wooden roller coasters. That is a pretty good height, pretty average for a wooden roller coaster. And it doesn't really feel so tall when you're at the top, but for a wooden roller coaster, that height is pretty good. And for all the categories we're doing, we're going to be basing this off only for wooden roller coasters. So I'm going to be rating height an 8. And it's the same for speed. Pretty average. Ghost Riders travels at 55 miles per hour, which is slightly above average for most wooden roller coasters. It's not in like the top 10 fastest or anything. It's just pretty average. But that's not a bad thing, guys. Ghost Rider hauls throughout the entire layout. It never loses its speed other than the turnaround. It's just super fast. And the pacing is just pretty great. And overall, I really like this speed. It doesn't need to be any faster. It's great for what it is. So I am going to be giving Ghost Rider, for the category speed, another 8. Now time to dive into the drop category. Now, Ghost Rider has a 108-foot drop at a 51-degree angle. Again, not so impressive, guys. And you're probably saying, well, lots of people talk about Ghost Rider being so amazing. I haven't heard anything impressive yet. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. This drop doesn't feel super steep. If you're in the back row, you're going to get slight airtime on that drop. Not too much, though. Again, this drop it's not the best drop. Like, there's a bunch of better drops than Ghost Rider's drop. Except the drop is, it's really complicated to say, guys, but this drop is just a mediocre wooden coaster drop. You don't really feel too much on it. So I'm going to be giving a 7 for Ghost Rider's drop. Now, Ghost Rider's airtime is something to talk about. There's a total of 8 airtime moments on Ghost Rider, some being light floater airtime while others being ejector airtime. Now, on the drop, for instance, you don't get much airtime there. You just get a little pop of floater. But some of these smaller hills towards the end of Ghost Rider's layout give some pretty good airtime. And all those dips down from, like, the turnaround and stuff, the 2 turnarounds, you don't really get any airtime on that. You just get a little floater. So Ghost Rider doesn't have the most intense airtime. But for what the airtime that it does have, it is pretty good. It's, like, not, like, RMC level or, like, some other GCI level, but it is pretty good. There are some intense ejector airtime moments, like right here, right there. So for airtime, I am going to be giving an 8. Now for overall layout. Ghost Rider begins with a turn to the left out of the station. You pick up some speed here, you do another turn, you get some moderate laterals here. Then you have some straight track. And then you go up the lift hill, which is 118 feet ascent to the top. It's not that fast of a lift hill. It actually is pretty slow. So while you're going up, you're kind of going through the wooden structure here. Then you're out in the open. If you turn around in your seat, not like turn around, but if you turn your head pointing down, you can see the entire park. Knott's Berry Farm. Then you get up to here, you see the sign, Please remain seated. I don't know how you'd stand up on this. And then you go down the drop, 108-foot drop. You get some really crazy laterals here on that turn. You go up into an airtime hill, mostly floater airtime. And then you go into the turnaround, which turns you left and then right. Then you go down into another dip down, pretty big drop. And more crazy laterals here. You get a little bit of airtime there if you're in the back. And then you go up into the slow turnaround. I kind of find this like a killer for the ride. And then you get crazy laterals on that turn. And there used to be a mid-course there, I think, but they got rid of it. Then you go into another drop. You get a little bit of airtime there again. Some pretty good laterals. Another dip down. Then you get a tiny bit of airtime here, but yeah. So then you turn to the right, basically a U-turn. Then another dip down, another airtime hill, and then you practically do an entire helix with crazy laterals, guys. Like, come on, look at this, guys. These are the craziest laterals ever. And then you go up into the brake run. So I find this a pretty good layout for Ghost Rider. The laterals is the main thing that stands out here. You get some decent airtime, some pretty intense airtime in some moments. And this is one of my favorite wooden coasters. The layout is pretty original. It packs a punch. The layout is pretty long as well. So I'm going to be giving a 9 for overall layout. Now, we're going to be talking about smoothness. Again, this is another category that we're going to be basing off on its wooden aspect. Remember, Ghost Rider is a wooden roller coaster, so if you were talking about steel coaster here, I would be giving a low score. But Ghost Rider, for a wooden roller coaster, is very smooth. Most wooden coasters I don't enjoy that much because I am a little bit more sensitive to roughness than other enthusiasts. I don't really like roughness that much. I prefer smooth layout. This is really smooth. Sure, it does have the classic wooden coaster rattle, but it's not like rough. Like, I've been on some pretty rough roller coasters, like really rough, most of them being wooden, and this is not one of them. This is one of the smoothest wooden roller coasters I've been on. I never get bothered by it. There are a couple of rough patches in Ghost Rider, but none that really bother me. So I really enjoy this. I find it really smooth. So wooden coaster wise, for smoothness, I'm going to be giving it 10. Now, for restraints, Ghost Rider has the classic GCI restraints, which is the lap bar. The seats are pretty comfortable. They're always padded, and Ghost Rider's seats are padded, so they're pretty comfortable. And the restraint, it is a little weird, but it's not uncomfortable or anything. It does situate pretty weirdly. Like, the restraint looks a little weird. At least in my opinion, but it's not uncomfortable or anything. It's just a pretty average lap bar, and it allows airtime as long as you don't get stapled. And it's not like uncomfortable or anything, and the seats are definitely pretty comfortable, so I am going to be giving a 9. Our next category is operations. Let me tell you guys, Ghost Rider, when I was at Nut Spray Farm, did not have good operations at all. They were horrible operations. I was waiting. The line was really long, first of all. And on top of that, they were taking so long to get those trains dispatched. Like, really, really long. They were like 2-minute, 3-minute dispatches. This is just my experience. Remember that, guys. So, for operations, I'm going to be giving a 6. Now for our final category, and that is theming. Ghost Rider, I mean, I have mixed feelings about the theming. It definitely has a theme. It's themed like Ghost Rider, I guess. It seemed like it's in like the ghost town section of the park, meaning it seemed like a western ghost town. The whole area gives off a Western feel. The only actual theming, though, is the entrance. The entrance is like a big boulder, and you walk through it, and there's a sign that says, like, danger. I think that's what it said. And you're basically just walking through a cave, but that cave doesn't last for long. It's just a really short area. Like, it looks to be like a door with like a prison or something like that. And just the whole area surrounding Ghost Rider has a Western ghost town type of theme and feel to it. And the station building is also sort of has the feel of like a barn of some sort. So, I still don't really understand what the theme of Ghost Rider is. But it has a Western feel. Nothing too crazy, though. So I'm going to be giving a 7 for theme. And now, for the final score of Ghost Rider. The final score for Ghost Rider is a 9. This is a great roller coaster. Definitely the top attraction at Knott's Berry Farm. This is an amazing GCI wooden coaster. And if you guys didn't know, Ghost Rider actually used to be a CCI that opened in 1998. But then in 2016, either 2015 and 2016, they did a complete makeover, GCI did, and now it's as smoother as ever. And it used to have a horrible mid-course that completely killed the ride, but that's now gone. I never got to experience the old CCI version of Ghost Rider, but I can already tell you that this one is better. So, Ghost Rider packs in a bunch of laterals, has some crazy laterals, especially on that unbanked helix. On that final helix, there's absolutely no banking on it, so you get crazy laterals. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this, for vlogs, for POVs, off-ride footage. The POV and off-ride footage of Ghost Rider are down linked in the description. And I have a bunch of other great videos on my channel, so make sure to go check those out. And as always, guys, stay on the thrill side of life.